He did it again. By a sliver your eye can't see, but your gut can feel. In Budapest, at the István Gyulai Memorial, Mondo Duplantis lifted the world record to 6.29 meters, 13th world record, second attempt. One more centimeter that turns a quiet breath into a stadium roar. Here's the part that keeps his rivals awake. This isn't a fluke, it's a system. Since 2020, he's climbed the record book in 1 centimeter steps over and over, a ladder built with patience and precision. Critics call it Bubka economics. Purists call it mastery. Either way, the strategy pays twice. It protects the body, and it reopens the bonus window every time the bar goes up. Reported ranges put those world record triggers in the tens of thousands of dollars depending on the meet and sponsor. Small on a balance sheet, huge when multiplied by 13. But don't let the number fool you. 1 centimeter is not just 1 centimeter at this altitude of performance. The physics say the extra energy to raise a 70-kilogram body's center of mass by a single centimeter is only a handful of joules. Tiny on paper, brutal when everything is already red-lined. That extra sliver has to come from somewhere. A hair more runway speed, a pole that stores another breath of elastic energy, a plant that is cleaner by a blink, a swing timed 1 heartbeat later. In Budapest, he missed once, recalibrated, then sent it. That second attempt clearance wasn't luck, it was iteration. Context matters too. 2 months earlier in Stockholm, he pushed the record to 6.28 meters. Another 1 centimeter rise, another proof that the file on limits is still open. Budapest simply made it official. The ceiling moved again, and it moved by the smallest step that counts. That's the genius. It's repeatable, it's defendable, it's devastating. So here's the promise for the next minutes. We'll follow the money and the mechanics, how a single centimeter can trigger a payday, extend a prime, and still demand the kind of perfection you can't fake. And then we'll aim higher, past 6.30, toward the number he hints at when the microphones are off. Because in Budapest, 7 joules bought history. The real question now is where he plans to spend the next 7. Call it what you want. Bubka economics, the ladder, the 1 centimeter hustle. It's a strategy born in the athlete hotel, not just on the runway. Each clean world record unlocks 3 doors at once. A meet bonus, varies by event and organizer, a sponsor trigger, often written as a new world record clause, and a fresh news cycle that drives up the next appearance fee. Not every meet pays the same, and not every contract is public, but the pattern is simple. A single step up can be worth tens of thousands of dollars that compound over a season. Stack enough steps, and you turn centimeters into a living. Now, layer in risk. Pole vault punishes big jumps between bars. Go hunting 6.35 meters from a cold start, and you carry more attempts, more fatigue, and a higher chance of leaving the stadium with nothing except sore shoulders. 1 centimeter is ruthlessly efficient. Fewer tries, less wear, same headlines. Agents love it because it extends a prime. Coaches love it because it keeps the body predictable. Promoters love it because world record attempt sells tickets on every continent. If you were managing the best vaulter in history, you would play it the same way. Here's the part casual fans miss. The money ladder only works if the athlete can control the bar. That means choosing venues with fast runways and good atmospheres. Bringing a pole rack that lets you move up in microscopic stiffness increments, and timing the record try for when the crowd, the weather, and your body click. In Budapest, it clicked on the second attempt. Miss once, feel the penetration, change a step by a shoe length, bump the pole, go again. That is not milking the sport, that is product design. But there's a counter argument, and it's loud. Stop nibbling, go for 6.40 and be done with it. It is a thrilling idea, and it ignores how careers end. Overshoot the bar too soon and you pay in strained groins, angry backs, and empty months while the headlines move on. A champion's job is not to feed the comment section, it is to own the calendar. World record in June, another in August, maybe one under championship lights in September. That's not greed, that's mastery over timing. So pick your camp right now. Are you ladder, small steps, many paydays, legacy built brick by brick, or leap? Swing for 6.35 and let everything else burn. Keep that answer in your head as we pivot from economics to engineering, because the next part explains why just 1 centimeter is both the smartest business decision in track and the hardest physics problem in the stadium. Think about that extra centimeter as a bill you have to pay in 3 coins: speed, stiffness, and timing. Pay all 3 and the bar stays. Miss 1 by a hair and the crossbar wobbles, breathes, and drops. Speed first. The pole is a battery that only charges if you hit it fast enough and tall enough. Add a whisper of approach velocity so little the naked eye can't see it. and the pole stores a little more elastic energy. That extra charge is where part of those 7 joules come from, but speed without posture is worthless. If the takeoff foot reaches or the hips lag, you leak power into the runway instead of the pole. Mondo's signature is that he arrives tall, plants deep, and lets the pole take him rather than muscling it. That's why 1 more centimeter is plausible for him on any good night. He's not sprinting harder, he's delivering cleaner. Stiffness next. Poles come in micro steps, not just soft and stiff. Move 1 number up the rack or slide your top hand a thumb's length higher, and you change how far the pole bends and how fast it gives that energy back. Too soft and you over-penetrate. Great height, bad depth, bar brush. Too stiff and you get launched early. Great pop, not enough travel. The record game is about landing on the exact combination that bends just enough to store what you brought and then returns it on your schedule, not the poles. That's why his team shows up with a rack that looks identical to casual eyes, but feels completely different to his hands. Timing is the assassin. Plant a fraction later, swing a fraction later, invert a fraction later. Everything cascades. The 1 centimeter must be paid for at the moment his trail leg whips through and his hips rise over his shoulders. If the swing is early, you peak under the bar. If it's late, you're still climbing when the bar arrives. Mondo's answer in Budapest was classic. Miss once, collect the feeling, adjust a step by a shoe length, bump the pole, and on the second attempt let the whip snap half a heartbeat later. That's iteration, not luck. 2 non-negotiables make it work. His mid-mark has to be honest, no drifting, no hunting, and his shoulders must stay long through the plant so the pole can load like a bow. Do those, and those 7 joules appear out of thin air. A faster step, a truer bend, a later whip. That's the hidden math of a tiny world record. It isn't tiny at all. It's 1,000 micro choices lining up for 1 breath of time. Here's where the record chase turns from highlight to plan. There are 3 ways Mondo can play the next 2 months, and each tells you what he values most: longevity, theater, or legend. Path 1 is the merchant of millimeters. He nudges the bar to 6.30 meters at the Diamond League final in Zurich, where the runway is fast, the air is cool, and the crowd knows how to hold its breath. 1 centimeter costs little in extra attempts, hardly dents the body, and reopens the bonus window without disturbing his season rhythm. Then, he repeats the pattern under championship lights in Tokyo. 6.31 meters, maybe 6.32 meters if the cues feel perfect. This is the risk-managed empire. Records stacked like coins, season intact, aura growing because he simply never misses when it matters. Path 2 is the statement jump. He skips 6.30 meters entirely and asks for 6.32 or 6.33 at a single meet. Fewer rungs, bigger myth. It gambles that his pole rack, the runway, and his timing all line up on one night. It also gambles that they don't. If he burns 3 attempts at a height that's half a fingertip too greedy, he walks out with sore lats and headlines about almost. The upside is obvious. 1 clearance and the conversation shifts from incremental to era-defining. Path 3 is the ceiling chase. He turns the sport towards 6.40 meters, not immediately, not recklessly, but with public intent. That means accepting more misses, more pole changes, more sessions that end with tired hands, and nothing to show except calibration. It also means putting the event into a different category for fans who thought we had already found its roof. 6.40 meters is a round number that rewrites dinner table opinions about what a human can do with a fiberglass wand and 45 strides. Whichever path he chooses, the rules of the game don't change. He buys each extra centimeter with the same 3 coins: a whisper more runway speed, a pole that bends and returns on his schedule, and a swing that cracks half a heartbeat later than yours would. That is why the 1 centimeter heist isn't cynical. It's the only sustainable way to keep touching history without letting it break you. So pick your camp. If you believe in the ladder, say ladder. If you want the fireworks, say leap. If you're already dreaming in 6.40 meters, say ceiling. We'll be watching the bar either way, because in Budapest, 7 joules bought another page in the record book. And somewhere soon, he's going to spend 7 more.